Okay, so hello and welcome. Plenty to talk about today. There is already a debate going on where Chris Broad has accused India of kind of using the ICC to their advantage and benefit, saying that 20 years back the Indians had unfair advantage in clearly Sourav Ganguly was let off and people were lenient on Ganguly despite taking much more time and making a mess of the over rate. So much so that Chris Broad suggests that the ICC officials called him and suggested to him that you have to let Sourav Ganguly off leniently. So that is what Chris Broad had suggested. Thereafter, just about some time back, Greg Chappell has weighed in on the debate from Australia and has said that he too had heard something similar. Now, my point is, Trisha Snehashi is joining me, Bharat Ramraj joining me. I will get Shomik, and Shomik has already joined me, and Shubhayan will also join me from Canberra. We will debate this. We will obviously talk about the first T20I, which is tomorrow, and we will talk about the women's semi-final, which is 48 hours from now. So these are the three subjects today at 5 at 5. Trisha, first thing, I think you are standing without an umbrella. So can we say that Mumbai is being kind to you? Navi Mumbai rather is being kind to you and Snehashish, and hopefully there will be no rain. Can we expect something better in the next couple of days?
As of now, the good news from the morning is we haven't had rain so far, and obviously the other good news is we checked the weather app today morning because that's what we are doing every single day here. Get up and check the weather app. On Friday, it's completely clear, so it says 0% of zero chances of rain, which means in case anything happens on Thursday, Friday we can get full game. And as we speak, actually, the sun is out, and 6 to 9, the Indian team is practicing. So, of course, we will keep an eye on Shafali Verma. And another good news, since I'm giving good news, we have spoken to our sources, and Richa Ghosh is good to go. As in, good to go means not go back to Kolkata, good to play. That is what it is. So, overall, I think सुबह से अच्छे न्यूज मिल रहे हैं, इसीलिए हम थोड़ा डर रहे हैं कि बाद में पता नहीं क्या ही खराब न्यूज मिलेगा.
Okay, so that's the women's update from Mumbai. Good news on weather, good news on Richa Ghosh. Shafali Verma has joined the team. Also, Trisha put it out in the morning itself. Pratika Rawal will be in the Indian dugout. That's what we also
Yeah.
know, that Pratika Rawal will be in the Indian dugout, despite having, I will give you the exact update as far as Pratika. I think she has a broken bone also. It's not just a torn ligament. I'll tell you exactly what the Pratika update is. Pratika Rawal had a broken bone, is what I have heard. Anyway, yeah. So ligaments and torn ligament and broken bone. That's what the exact update is for Pratika Rawal. But she will be as part of the dugout. Shubhan, what is your update before I get into the Chris Broad issue? In your part of the world, Greg Chappell has now supported Chris Broad, saying ICC was partial towards India. So you will have lots of juice coming up in the next couple of days. But first, weather-wise, Canberra not looking too bad for tomorrow, especially in the afternoon, Shubhan, is what I was checking in the Met app. But set it up for me, practice and the first game tomorrow.
Boria, the match starts at around 7:15 in the evening here, which is going to be extremely cold and windy for the players, especially the Indians who are not habituated of getting these kind of weather climate. But talking about rain, I think it's going to be fine for the game. You might get a shower spell for 5 minutes here or there, but nothing major. So we will get a full game. But again, for Indian players, getting used to these conditions, these cold is what is going to be a big challenge. Apart from that, both the teams are good to go. The entire team turned up. The Indian team turned up for their practice session, which was an optional one. But despite that, everyone was here. And at the end of the practice, after the players had their lunch or evening snacks, you can say they had a long team meeting inside the dressing room. And after that, they departed for the hotel. So yeah, the preparation wise, it has been pretty good last couple of days. Uh, Intensity wise, fun wise, everyone is in a very good mood. So hopefully that will translate into a good performance tomorrow when they take the field.
Okay, so that's the update from the women and the men's game. And Shubhan, quickly, one more before I get into the debate. Your thoughts on playing 11? Can you give us an idea? What does it seem based on practice? Your thoughts on that?
Moreover, I think it's going to be a very straightforward playing 11, barring one selection, which is the choice of your second spinner, who is going to be your specialist second spinner supporting Akshar Patel. Abhishek Sharma, Shubman Gill being your two openers. Number 3 and number 4 will be taken by Surya Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma. 5 and 6 will be Sanju Samson and Shivam Dubey. 7 will be Akshar Patel. Followed by now that becomes very interesting. You will play a Jasprit Bumrah, you will play an Arshdeep Singh, you will play a Harshit Rana. After that, who is going to be your second choice spinner? Will it be a Washington Sundar if you want batting depth? It can be Washington Sundar. If you want an attacking spinner, then it would be a straight face off between Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti. So the only place in of debate is the choice of spinner, second spinner who will support Akshar Patel in this 11. Apart from that, it looks like a pretty straightforward playing 11 for me.
Fair enough. So that's what we know. Shomik, coming to the debate now, I will go to Trisha and Bharat and Shubhayan as well as Snehashish. Snehashish, I'll ask you a women's cricket question in a bit about the game. But Shomik, Chris Broad, 21 years later, I don't know if he's writing a book and wants to monetize. Clearly, that could have been one of the reasons. But ethical question for Mr. Broad. He clearly took advantage at that point in time. He could have said, become a whistleblower then. I question his ethics plainly that he took advantage of his position as ICC match referee, earned his money, enjoyed the perks. 21 years later, he decides to say this and blame it on India. He could have said it then. He could have said it then, made it public, walked out of his job, and shown some ethics. At this point in time, 21 years later, I really want to understand the motive. Shomik, you sent me a message as well detailing out all of those facts that 2 games of Bangladesh, 3 games against Pakistan, and the ODIs when Ganguly was eventually banned. Your thought on Chris Broad's allegations and now that Greg Chappell has jumped in. Shomik Chakraborty. Shomik, mute শুনতে পাচ্ছি না.
I can understand Greg Chappell is still begrudging Saurabh, which is understandable. But as far as Chris Broad is concerned, you have nailed it. Maybe he's writing a book, he wants to monetize it, because I am not questioning the veracity of his comment. Because I don't know. I have texted Saurabh and a response is awaited. I don't know whether Saurabh will come up with a response or not, or he might simply ignore it, or the thing. I mean, Chris Broad's allegation. But the fact of the matter is that you enjoyed all the privileges, you took advantage, everything, and now after more than 2 decades, you are coming up with this. So, on the face of it, the entire thing loses credibility. On the face of it, the entire thing loses credibility. If on the spot you would have mentioned it, you would have mentioned it at least. Not, I'm not uh, saying that he should have come up with a public comment, but if he would have mentioned it in his match referee's report, then that would have been credible. There is no mention. I mean, back channel conversations happen everywhere. I don't know whether this conversation happened or not, but back channel conversation happens in India, United States diplomacy, let alone cricket. Cricket is a small thing, but I mean, if at all, if it was said and Chris Broad wanted to make his point, wanted to drive home his point, now Chris Broad should have come up with that. See, we are talking about a phase when the big three still didn't happen, the IPL still didn't happen. And it was a clear divide, and you know that very well, a clear Asian versus white bloc divide in the ICC. Before Chris Broad, there was Mike Dennis. And you know how he tried to, I mean, how he tried to school, rather, sort of Sachin Tendulkar and his allegations or his charges fell flat in its face. Joguda ensured that those charges would fall flat in its face. So I think it is still. I think there is a section in world cricket. They are still jealous about India's success story, about India's prosperity. They were the old masters as far as the game of cricket is concerned when ICC was the International Cricket Conference. From there to International Cricket Council and India dominating the whole thing, India calling the shots and India being the ultimate superpower in the sport, maybe there are people in Blighty, somewhere it still rankles for them. And this is what I can say.
Good points, Ashish. Before I go to Bharat, Shafali Verma joining the team. The question for you: a lot of people, so much talk on social media. If you were Shefali Verma, I would want Amol Mazumdar to have a quiet word that this is not a make or break game for her. All of a sudden, she has been thrust into the team, no additional pressure. She needs to be there, soak in the moment, make the most of it. But for her, it is not going to be easy. So if anyone thinks, she will come there, conquer everything, and make a hundred, it is not like that. It is one of the most difficult things for her. At the same time, it is important that each one of us backs it. Shefali Verma. Snehashish, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think no one should judge Shafali Verma on the basis of this one match or maybe maybe two matches. But I think yeah, as you mentioned that it will not be easy for her because ultimately she was not in the first place for this team when the team was announced for the World Cup, not even in the reserve. So I think you have to understand that the team was not in favor of her. Even as I mentioned that not in the reserve also. So and you have to understand this is a semi-final of a home World Cup. Expectation are there, and that too against the Australian, the defending champion. So it will not be easy, but for her, it is a out of nowhere, it is a big opportunity. So she will like to encash it, but it will not be. So I think people should understand that okay, though if she doesn't manage to score big or if she doesn't manage to put an huge impact on this game, doesn't go hard on her because ultimately her comeback journey will start after this World Cup. What we reckon, not basis of this one innings or maybe two innings. So I think just go there, enjoy the innings, try at level best to help the team from your end and let's see what happens. Because ultimately, as a team, Team India will be in a critical position against Australia, and that is, I think, everyone knows. So let's see what happens. Also, Boryada, if I may add a point here, she's coming from domestic circuit and domestic circuit bowlers, international circuit bowlers, that to Australia will be this different. So for people to expect, yes, I also saw that, you know what, she'll score a 30 ball 18. Someone said 80 ball 140, something 20 ball 30 will be enough. So everybody is saying a lot of things. People need to understand that the bowling standards are heaven and hell difference. So she has been in the domestic circuit. And when she went to the Australia A series, where the level of bowling was a little better than the domestic circuit, she actually did not perform well. So there's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of because they want as well. People like Shafali Verma. They want her to perform. I can get that. People want India to win a semi-final against Australia. We are tired of losing. All said and done, it should not be that the moment Shafali gets out on whatever score, people should start saying, "Oh hell, with Shafali. Shafali should be thrown out. She should never be selected," and so and so. And the other part, which I think I've written also, that people should also start talking about how Shafali's inclusion and Pratika's exclusion is going to hamper or not hamper Smriti Mandana's cricket.
Important points there. Important points. We have to keep perspective because that's what Indian cricket doesn't have. It's either here or there. I mean, two different spectrums of a pendulum. We've got to keep that in mind. Bharat Ramraj, two questions. One, uh, Mohammad Shami, 5 wicket haul. Atro Mukhopadhyay is filing a report. Two matches, 8 plus 7, 15 wickets. Bengal beating Gujarat by 141. Gujarat is not a pushover team. It is a top level Ranji team at this point in time. Mohammad Shami, genuine reminder to the selectors, and we also had a selector in RP Singh in this particular Ranji Trophy game. So thoughts on Mohammad Shami? Yes, I know you haven't seen it, but obviously stats say something, reports read something. from what we've understood, Mohammad Shami in solid rhythm. Number one. Number two, this whole Chris Broad point. What is your stand on this? Chris Broad in England, Greg Chappell in Australia. All of a sudden, I could see that old divide between Asia and the West and rather the white world coming together against the Indian dominance. Bharat Ramraj, your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, when it comes to Mohammad Shami, I think you have to give it to him. He seems like someone who has that kind of unremitting determination where he wants to prove his critics wrong. He will keep coming back. See, he's not getting any anger, first of all, but still, he's someone who's showing that kind of fighting spirit. I think looks a little bit fitter now compared to what he was a year ago. The one thing that seemed to be going against him, there was a stat as well during the IPL that he was getting less moment of the seam compared to previous years. I think that is what was going against him when batters were taking him to the cleaners even when he was bowling the new ball. It seems like he's gone back to the training workshops, worked very hard, and looks like he's got that little bit of nip back in his bowling, and that is a great sign. Hopefully, the selectors will look at it, and who knows, he might get back into the scheme of things when it comes to the Indian team. Fingers crossed for Mohammad Shami. As far as Chris Broad is concerned, I don't think he will be in the good books of many Asian cricketers, not just Sourav Ganguly. I know in 2005 itself, if I go back, if I transport myself back to 2005, even Pakistani cricketers like Inzam Mulak, even Shoaib Akhtar at times, when it comes to fines, when it comes to penalties, a lot of them were fined at that time, Asian cricketers. And yes, he released a book a year or so ago. Maybe he wants some limelight. He's resigned as he stepped down as a match referee, and perhaps he's also jealous of India coming through the ranks, and it's well, basically it is ruling cricket. So somewhere he could be jealous, and he just wants to tell something from a bygone era, and you have to remember that Saurav Ganguly was actually banned. I guess during that 2005, after the 2005 ODI series in that Ahmedabad game or on those lines, where he was banned for some 6 matches at that moment by Chris Broad. So it was not like Sourav Ganguly was not given a suspension or not banned at that time. That thinking just going back in time to 2005 and bringing it up in 2025, it doesn't really make much sense. Most likely he's just jealous or wants to hog the limelight and sell his book.
Shubham, two questions to you. Your stand on Chris Broad and Greg Chappell, and any discussion in Australia about this. Daniel Brettig has filed a copy on the Greg Chappell jumping into the conversation about a couple of hours back. So clearly the Australian media is picking it up. So any thoughts on that? And secondly, Shubham, you have been close to Mohammad Shami. I know you are in Australia, a different format, etc. But keeping an eye, Mohammad Shami is such a good story. I mean, if he comes back, this hard work again. I mean, test matches on home soil. Cricket Association of Bengal will host South Africa. The Mohammad Shami form is giving us all a ray of hope. Shubham. Oh, and finally, very important, a Shreyas Iyer medical update, please. What you are hearing in Sydney, in Canberra at this point in time, both of us have consulted our notes. Without being sensationalist, I've read a lot of sensationalist junk in the media. We have reported facts bang on. So, and medical update of Shreyas Iyer, whatever you know for certain.
I'll start with Shreyas Iyer. He's doing absolutely fine. Members of support staff, this is what I said in our 12 noon show as well. Members of support staff, the players, all of them have had conversations with Shreyas Iyer in terms of phonic conversation or text conversation, and he is currently using his phone as well, which was confirmed by Surya Kumar Yadav in the press conference as well. So he's doing absolutely fine. Yes, you have to take care of him, and you can't rush things, and that has been advised by the doctors who are taking care of Shreyas Iyer in a Sydney hospital. So there's no need to rush. There's still time, but maybe in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, in this week's time, you will see Shreyas Iyer perhaps getting the medical clearance to travel back to India. His family, as soon as his family lands here in Sydney, meets Shreyas Iyer, you will see a detailed statement by the BCCI. So let's wait for that, and let's not speculate things, because even some of the players from the team, or you can say the members of the team, are saying that uh, Indian media or Indian newspapers or Indian portals are running 24 to 36 hours behind in terms of giving that update on Shreyas Iyer. Whatever is being reported today, that has happened 24 hours back in Sydney. So they are getting these updates pretty late. So if you are saying that he's in ICU currently, no, you are wrong. We reported this morning. Yes, it was pretty early, pretty late in the light when I got that text from Sydney that he has been discharged from the ICU. So as soon as I got up here in Canberra, I did that tweet from our Ref Sports handle that Shreyas Iyer is out of the ICU, which was pretty early in the morning in India. So he's fine, he's doing well, he's in good spirits, having conversations with his friends and close ones. So we'll get an update on Shreyas Iyer pretty soon in terms of his discharge from the hospital or getting medical clearance to travel back to India. He's doing absolutely fine. Coming to Mohammad Shami, I was checking the scorecard, and that is what the issue is when you don't see a televised match, or when you don't go to the stadium. If Atruda has gone to the stadium, I'm looking forward to reading his report. But what I got to know from the scorecard of both the innings, Shami has taken majority of his wickets, 80% of his wickets from of the tail enders. He has cleaned up the tails, not with the new ball, not with the first ball spell. So that is an issue. Uh, Cleaning the tail, if you are bowling 135, 140, targeting the stumps more or less, you will get those wickets in the back end of the innings. Gujarat tail end is not too strong. Their main strength is their top four, top five. Uh, and that is where I think Shami has only taken two wickets out of his all the wickets in this particular Ranji Trophy match. We have to mention Shahbaz Ahmed as well. He was the game changer once again when Urvil Patel was having those partnership, and at one point Bengal was looking a bit concerned. Shahbaz came in and took three wickets. Two of the batters, or maybe three of the batters, got out in duck within 1 or 2 overs. So he changed the momentum of the game. Shami, uh, we would all love to see Shami making a comeback in the team, but for him, he has to pick wickets of the main batters, not the tail enders. But wickets are wickets. RP Singh was there. He's a better judge of what how Shami bowled. Atroda, I'm looking forward to reading his report whether he was rusty early on, which was the case in the opening game. And again, in the opening game also, he picked up wickets of the tail enders in the second innings. That is what I would want to see, Shami picking wickets of the top order batters, not the tail enders. And lastly, the Chris Broad issue. No, Boyada, I was in the stadium. Although there is not many media guys from Aussie media present here, only a handful, a couple of guys are here in Canberra. So I have not had the opportunity to have those conversations around Chris Broad, but I am pretty sure it will be picked up pretty rapidly by the uh, Australian media in the maybe tomorrow morning in the papers. We will see that. I'll keep an eye on the newspapers tomorrow. But again, I would just like to say, if Chris Broad is coming 20 years later and talking about this, that he was asked to do this, asked to do that, and he did what he was asked, then he is also part of the corruption, isn't he? So if he is coming out and saying I was asked to do this and I was forced to do this, then I'm sorry, he is also part of the corruption. Then if he is alleging so. So so it doesn't matter if you come and, as Shamikda say, expose or talk about the back channel negotiations. Are there any proof that he was asked to do that? He could be making hypothetical stories around that just to target India and gain some eyeballs and sell his book.
Okay. Strong words, strong words. Before I go to Trisha and Snehashish again, Shobik, what are you hearing in the Bombay media? Shreyas Iyer, yesterday you were telling me what you are hearing from your MCA sources. We put out all of the details once again, very clear, not being sensationalist, including medical professionals. I don't want to name anyone for reasons of medical confidentiality, but we can tell you we have been in touch with the best medical professionals who are hands on. So we know what we are saying here, and we've given out all of the updates. But Shomik, what are you hearing? Number one, And number two, this whole Chris Broad issue. Where do you see it? Do you see BCCI even bothering about it, reacting to it? Ganguly is in London. I had a excuse me. I had a chat with him 2 hours back, and in quintessential Sourav Ganguly style, he said, "Let me go and take a walk in front of London Eye and not bother about all this nonsense." So that's what Sourav Ganguly's reaction was. He's in London. He's coming back next Tuesday. Once he comes back, we'll have a chat with him on this. But Shomik, your thoughts.
Typical Ganguly thing.
No, he said, আমি লন্ডনে আইয়ের সামনে হাঁটবো এসব নিয়ে bother করে কি হবে? He
I,
just dismissed.
I can literally hear his voice saying this.
So here's Shomik.
As regards Shreyas Iyer, Shubham has also already mentioned. He was taken out of the ICU late last night. He is absolutely fine. He is absolutely stable. His sister is going there. There is something. There is a section. There is a section who are trying to portray it in a negative way, which is deplorable. It is not. They are even saying that BCCI is hiding stuff. It is absolutely not. Shreyas Iyer is stable, and Shreyas Iyer is recovering very well. That is the news here. And even the MC officials who have spoken to him, they have confirmed that it is. I mean, there is nothing to worry about in the sense that it is not serious. It is pretty stable, and sooner rather than later, he would be completely okay. That is the update on Shreyas Iyer. And about Sourav Ganguly and BCCI, as I told you, I mean, why would BCCI be bothered about a couple of people, a couple of persons who are no longer relevant in world cricket? Is Chris Broad relevant? No. Greg Chappell is one of the greatest batsmen the game has ever seen, yes. But uh, right now, right now, he is no longer relevant in the sense, and we all know he bears a grudge about Sourav Ganguly. I mean, the fallout, we all know about the fallout, how he wanted to corner Sourav Ganguly. See, that Pakistan series, I covered that in entirety. I saw things at close quarters. This overread allegations, and it was played when it was in searing heat, I can confirm. And no way this overrated allegations stand. 2 overs, 3 overs, you have to take into consideration. I mean, in Old Trafford, the way you bowl your overs, it is not possible to do that in Cochin or Hyderabad or Mohali in peak summer or at the onset of summer. So I understand what Greg Chappell is coming from. I also understand where Chris Broad is coming from, but they are no longer relevant. And BCCI will not say a word. Sourav Ganguly, as you said, he is enjoying his stroll in London, and he should do that. He is doing the right thing.
Trisha, before I close the show, question for you and Snehashish. Set it up. What's India's practice time? What's the plan? How is India getting ready for the semi-final? Set it up in the next minute, and I will close the show in one after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think today from 6 to 9, the India team will practice. And hopefully it will not be an optional practice. All the team will be there. No, I think generally match day -2 is compulsory practice, and then match day -1 is optional practice. And the timings also change. Match day -2, it's the evening shift, 6 to 9. That 2 to 5. Yeah, 2 to 5. Australia is practicing today, and 6 to 9. India will practice, and tomorrow it will be resolved. 2 to 5 will be optional for India and press conference, and from 6 to 9 it will be Australia, and of course before that it will be their press conference. Uh, Today, interestingly, when we were coming to DY Patil to shoot one of the videos, we saw a lot of a big line for tickets, and I think we'll go back and after the practice probably try and get a number. Of course, the group stage events have been doing. I mean, the attendance has been very high, 25,000, more than 25,000. So expecting for India Australia semi-final, it should be about 20, close to 30,000, if not more. Um, and also, I think a lot of people will expect that this could be India's last match in the World Cup as well. I think also the brand Shafali will also pull in a lot of numbers because there is excitement around Shafali coming out to bat against Australia. So let's see. But I think the build up here, the temperature is slowly rising generally as well as for the semifinals.
Nice to hear. Yes, Shami, quickly. I'll close the show.
I have something. I have something for Trisha basically. Trisha tells Shafali Verma the Toto Schillaci story. 1990 World Cup. Toto Schillaci, Salvatore Schillaci, was not in the Italian squad. Then Agnello Vicini, the manager, decided to drop Roberto Mancini, and Toto Schillaci came in, and he ended up being the highest scorer
High
of that
scorer.
World
Six
Cup.
goals.
Tell her the story.
Six goals. Six goals and
Six
became the
goals.
highest scorer and incredible Italian 1990 for Toto Schillaci. And let me close.
Yeah, but I don't think we are meeting Shafali and talking to her. We'll leave her alone.
You can actually do a piece on this and we can post it. I'm sure the Indian team will pick it up. Good idea.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me close the
Mario
piece.
Mario Balotelli Mario Balotelli Aguero season, entire season no assist, final appearance in the final game against QPR, the most crucial assist of all time.
These are oh boy. Anyway, let me close the show on a serious note. When Chris Broad became match referee, who was the president of ICC? Ehsan Mani. Yes, I am conscious of the Dalmia Ehsan Mani bonhomie, but please note that Ehsan Mani comes from a country that will not do India any favors. Point number one. Chris Broad oversaw 5 tests, which Ganguly captained. 2 in Bangladesh, 3 against Pakistan in 2005. All of these matches, apart from the Mohali in March, all of the other matches had results. India's over rate in Mohali, spot on. In the ODI series, Ganguly was banned for 2 matches. Kanpur, for the final 2 matches in Kanpur and New Delhi, for obviously slow over rate. In Jamshedpur and Ahmedabad, as Shomik said, I also covered that season, not from the ground all games, but I have to say it was scorching hot. These are details that I noted down. Scorching hot. Yes, Mani had a good equation with Dalmia, but for him to help Indians is a bit too far. Again, the initial ban was for 6 games. Then Justice Albie Sachs reduced it to 4 in July. So Ganguly did not escape scot-free. If Chris Broad is trying to tell the world that Ganguly escaped scot-free, 6 matches ban, reduced to 4 by Justice Albie Sachs in July. That was the end result. So before you make such statements and level allegations, one really needs to think back. As Shubha and Bharat, Shomik, everybody has pointed out, or Trisha and Shreyas on our show, there are questions of ethicality also alongside Chris Broad's allegations, because timing, 21 years later, maybe a book is coming out. We let the case rest here. But Mr. Broad, if we start asking you questions, you will not have the answers for us. Let's leave it at that, because this is one such thing. And Greg, he's a dear friend of mine. But one also knows, if people in India, Virender Sehwag, Harbhajan Singh, Sachin Tendulkar, and all of these people start opening their mouths, Greg will find it very difficult to answer a number of questions. So we will leave this question at that. Tomorrow, India versus Australia, first match, 1:45, Shubham in Canberra to report on that. Day after, the big blockbuster semi-final in Navi Mumbai. Plenty happening. Day after also, Bharat Ramraj at the COE, Rishabh Pant making a comeback. So we will have updates from that. Mohammad Shami reminding the selectors, things are hotting up, friends. We will be there for all. Shubha and Trisha, Snehashish, Bharat and Shomik, thank you very much for joining me.